Hello everyone, my name is Nicolas Coffman, and as you can see from this wonderful photo of me, I work with technology to facilitate engaging and accessible music making for people of various musical backgrounds. Using a variety of both hardware and software technologies, I often work to create setups like this one to isolate a particular musical idea. My goal has been to have people learn and explore digital instruments without my input or guidance. Here you can see some strangers I asked to improvise together. Lucky for them, I fixed all of the devices to stay in sync rhythmically. Before long, they were jamming together, and my presence was long forgotten. Taking these type of setups to community settings worked well. Students with varied musical backgrounds made music in ways that were meaningful to them personally. Access to a variety of hardware devices let them try out different ways of making music. Eventually, changes were made to the setup. In particular, I began to split audio so that students could use headphones and work individually to practice creations they would share with the group later on. While they were no longer making music at the same time, sharing what they made with others seemed to be just as, if not more, important. This was not my original intent, but a response to the needs of those I worked with. However, I increasingly found issues with the system that I had created. It was often difficult to engage group members in understanding and assisting in setup. Things would go wrong that only I knew how to fix. So unfortunately, scenes like this often turned to this. The problem seemed to be me. My attempts to free others from control meant that I was still at the center of control. I spent less time interacting in a musical way and much more often interacting in a technical way. The system I had intended to create cohesion in the group no longer served its purpose. While sometimes I saw musical interaction, other times I saw complete inaction. And at the worst of times, it was simply lecture and theory. Lucky for me, I was provided with some new gear to work with, new toys to play with. Learning synthesizers and iPads were easier for me to pass out, easier to get to make noise, and easier to tear down, drastically changed my perception of what I would do with these students. The children I worked with made their own musical games and exercises. My expectations about group performance and rhythmic cohesion weren't their expectations. They used the tools that I provided to show me what they valued about music. One was a third-grade girl that normally would have been too young to participate. Her favorite game was seeing how many iPad apps she could have open at the same time and see what combinations of sounds she could experience as they continued to run. Another was a boy who had been kicked out of the program because of his behavior. Allowing him the chance to work independently with his favorite app kept him from fighting, and it made it much easier for me to welcome him back each week. I struggled, however, because I felt I had given up on getting students to interact and to make music together. The room had changed from an ensemble to a collection of individuals. So how could I really see this as a community? I found guidance in the idea of community without unity, seeing community music as hospitality, and my purpose to create opportunity changed my focus from outcomes to actions. It became more important to focus on inclusion and access than performance and product. In communities with non-hierarchical social structure, members have a greater freedom to leave. Ensemble rehearsals never afforded members to show up when they wanted, forcing hard decisions between basketball and music. Suddenly, I no longer needed to force an allegiance. I found that changing the technology I used changed how the group interacted. If I wanted my community to be decentralized and learner-directed, I needed to use technology that was likewise decentralized. Here's an instance of a colleague of mine using headphones that connect to each other and daisy chain down a line. One synth can be connected to any number of headphones, easily allowing for groups to grow or shrink, as decided by the group. The issues concerning community music and technology are even more visible now. Zoom meetings do not allow for the real-time ensemble performance that we regularly enjoy. And virtual ensembles often leave control in the hands of the video editor. When people are at home, access to technology can range from complete home studios to budget smartphones, and having similar musical experiences can be difficult. However, when various musical roles are negotiated within a group, collaborative work becomes possible. How technology affects social interaction determines how communities operate. As we adapt to increasingly tech-based lives, so should we adapt our concepts of community. Ultimately, coming together in music is not dictated by place or action, but by intent. Thank you.